didn't add AI to search. They actually rebuilt search around AI. So the 10 blue links that you spent years trying to climb, again, I did it. On a lot of searches, they are now being pushed way down. So when you're busy trying to get on page 1, you're trying to get in the top 3, the AI just answers and nobody is scrolling and clicking anything at all. Yeah. So here's the question every creator has to answer. Are you still writing for a click that might not happen? Or are you writing to be the source of the AI quotes? Or are you writing to serve your readers? Because listen, those are 3 different jobs. Let us talk about which one you might be doing or what you should be doing and where you need to go. So, Fran, Google I.O. just wrapped. They've said a whole bunch of different things. They've announced a whole lot of things, but I want us to kind of really get practical about what this means for a blog that right now is still living on search traffic. So here's some things they announced. Let me know what you think. So Google announced, and again, these are facts, people. Search is going to be AI first. So intelligent search boxes that search across text, images, videos, files, and just even open browser tabs. It's searching everything. And it upgraded their AI mode. It's now running on Gemini 3.5. So that is a real thing. They also have search agents that can monitor the web in the background. They can now send you alerts and it can take action on behalf of users. So discovery is going to become something that just happens for the user. Things are just going to pop up even without them searching, just because, they're interested in it. So it's not just the user inputting it. Another main thing is AI widgets. Google can now generate calculators, trackers, explainers, everything directly in results. So anything utility that people used to have and those kinds of content, the basic how-tos and tools and roundup, those are gone. And that's just Google. I'm not even touching the YouTube of it yet. That's just Google. How will this affect creators and how they create content, and how can they meet their users' needs? Because before we were writing for search, right? But now we need to change our tactics. What does that mean for a blog who is still focusing on search?
I think it's a complete revamp. Well, first of all, the first revamp is, how can you continue being focused on search when you're not going to get the click? Because at the end of the day, even if you decide to now focus on hitting the AI overview, somebody is searching for something because they have a very specific question. If you hit the AI overview because you wrote a great post and everything was good and you ranked it and now you're in the AI overview, you've already answered the question in the AI overview. So the chances of that person clicking through to see what else you had to say are small. Because I don't know about you, but when I search, once I get an answer, like, I don't need to know more. The rabbit hole will stop there. Like, you could get somebody to go down a rabbit hole because they already came to the blog post and they were looking for the answer, and then they found the answer, and then they stayed because something else felt interesting, or like the article itself was interesting and they wanted to finish it. But that's not going to be a thing anymore. So even if you do decide to focus on writing for the AI overview, I think that is a losing game, because from the perspective of a user that is using Google to search, they got their answer, they are done, they don't need to come to your site. So my biggest thing is, we need to write for people. That does mean that the things that will rank work the same, because you do need to write your opinions, your experience. So all those signals will also work for ranking on Google and AI overview. So that kind of does both jobs, but you really need to focus on the person that's coming to your site and reading what you have to say. And whether they're coming from the little bit of traffic you may end up getting and trickling in from Google, or because you're on social media and you're actually giving people journeys and experiences that they can come along with you, or teaching them something, whatever it is that your niche is, that is where the real important part of how you structure content is going to be. How are you serving the audience? How are you serving the people? So as long as you take that approach, always write for the person, no longer for Google or for SEO. And I think that will take some time for a lot of people, especially if you've been doing SEO for a while, because I know that it takes some time to deprogram. I'm guilty of that. But definitely that is the approach now. I think, at least for me, because I've been in blogging for so long, I used to blog this way that we're going back to. So for me, it's like going back to what I was doing before. So it's an easier switch mentally. But I do know that a lot of people that got into blogging when it was all about the mechanics of the SEO and they got really comfortable with that, they may struggle with making that change. But you do need to give of yourself. You do need to put yourself out there. You do need to share opinions. People do need to get to know you through your content. Well, if you don't want to show yourself, that's fine. But you have to find ways to let people in to who you are, what you're about, all of these things when you're crafting content. That I think is the biggest distinction going forward.
Yeah, for sure. And listen, I was actually scrolling on social this week and I saw someone posting about a narrator and they're like, guess whose voice this is? We know people sometimes just based on voice. So even though this person is not a visible, face online, you know their voice. So if you're someone listening and you're just like, yeah, I will never put my face on. I don't know how you girls are going live. It is fine. You need to lean into audio. People need something tangible that they can relate to. Also, just to double down on what Fran was just saying, because as you know, I'm on the Raptive Ad Network. So there was an expert take on Raptive that I'm bringing to you today. So I'm citing my source. Hold on. It's Philip Elias. So Raptive was breaking down everything that happened at Google's I.O. And there are lots of questions that obviously creators had. So this was one of them. And it was saying about the AI overview guidance, like Francesca just said. So this is kind of cementing what she said about you can't write to show up in the Google AI overview. Anybody who's telling you this is specific for Google's AI overview is lying to you. Or for you to show up in chatbots, they're lying to you, okay? So the headline from Google's own AI guidance is almost anticlimactic. I'm reading right now. There is no separate AI SEO. I'm going to repeat. There is no separate AI SEO. The fundamentals that win AI overviews are the same fundamentals that win regular search. Original, genuinely helpful content, clear expertise, clear technical SEO, strong visuals, and good user experience. Okay. So again, for folks who are still writing for search or they feel like they can hack, the AI overviews and the AI chatbots, it's not going to happen. It still comes back to good content. So replay that whole segment, take notes. That is what is going to get you ahead. It also says the split that matters now is trusted brands with original first-hand content they can gain, while commodity quick answer content and roundup content is the most exposed to zero click. So anytime, you're trying to rework your thing and you're just giving, quick answers or just being direct with no depth, with no expertise behind it, with no reasoning how you came to this conclusion, or you're just rounding up listicles, your content is the most exposed. So update after update, you're going to get hit time and time again. So it says if a 200-word answer, this is just an example, if a 200-word answer is all your page offers, the AI now is that page. Meaning, again, that's just all the AI overview. There is nothing else. It won't quote you, it won't cite you because, again, you're not providing any context. So this is the last point, because agents reward freshness and structure, crawlability, schema, and updated content matter more than ever. You want to be, as the content creator, the citable source. So again, if you're just delivering roundup content, if you're just giving short, quick bites, because you don't have experience, you don't have depth, it goes back to those content creators who just used to round up content, or for lack of a better word, make up content. A big industry that was also hit was like travel content, because people are doing posts for places they ain't never been to. And a lot of things and stuff change. So for example, if you were doing that, now you're not credible. So even if you do have something on your page that is credible, you're going to get knocked down because of that. So there are lots of things to keep in mind, but faking it till you make it is definitely not it in this new AI, overview world, this new changing search bar point of view. And we're not getting into YouTube today, but I will just add this one little thing with YouTube. YouTube is also changing because YouTube and Google, same people, same things. So the Ask YouTube is being developed right now. So it's going to become conversational search. There's Gemini-powered remix tools inside of Shorts. It is constantly evolving. So again, this is why we tell you to clock into co-working. because things are constantly changing. But the one thing that won't change, and you don't have to be pulling your hair out and stressing every time, is if you are creating original, helpful from your lived experience or something you're learning right now in public. So you can't go wrong with that. So you need to reframe things. Okay, a couple points. Stop measuring, did I rank for this page, and ask, am I citable? And not just from AI, but like, would a journalist or just some credible person, whoever you consider credible in your field, would they cite you? Would they reach out to you? And also, do you give someone a reason to come back to you directly? Kind of alluding to what Francesca was saying earlier. So the winners right now are building destinations. They're building a voice, they're building a community, a point of view, an email list, a social presence, a brand for people to come back to, not just pages that might pop up in a Google query once every so often. And even if you do come up, will people click? So, Fran, with that in mind, what's a page on your own site? Are you already thinking, I need to rewrite this, I need to rebuild that? How are you thinking with all this?
So many. I mean, like I said, I got hit really bad in March, and I have been looking a lot at my pages, especially whether it was, some of them were kind of informational, that were doing really, really well, bread and butter kind of pages, and they were hit really badly. And when I look back at those pages with this new frame of mind, because those were also like pages I didn't want to touch because they're doing so well. So it was probably like maybe 2 years since they had gotten even a dusting. So a lot of that was really thinking, you know what? Yeah, like, why would anybody even want to click on that? Or if they click on that, like, I'm not delivering great value because AI can give them any of this stuff. So I need to talk about my experience of how did I go through this and how did I end up doing it. And fact is, I even have pictures that I could interject and show you that experience and give you those experience signals through pictures. So I think that that is really important. Also, the biggest thing that I struggle with is the roundup post because they got killed. Oh my God. And in some ways, like, I have to figure out how I want to do them and update them going forward so that they serve a purpose, but that's not also all that I have on the site. Because for a period of time, I was going really heavy on those because they were working. They were working, they were ranking. I could throw up a listicle and I knew that that's going to, within a month or two, it's going to start getting traffic. And for a while that did really well. And that is not now how I focus on content. I know that's also going to take time for people to readjust. I feel like the people that have been with my brand for a while will probably be happy that I bring some of this stuff back. In fact, I posted a YouTube video 2 weeks ago, and it was kind of more of my old content. And I had people that I haven't seen commenting in years come out and, oh my God, I'm so happy you're talking about this because of blah, blah. And like, there was whole conversations. So I do think that that is what people are looking for. That is what people need. And even if somebody's coming in the comments and telling you that you're wrong, that is fine. That's engagement. I don't care. So I think that's really important, is what is the kind of content. And for me, it's more about, the listicles were working, now they're not, but I'm reframing the content through a journey and experience. And if that happens to include a roundup post intentionally, then that's good. But everything is coming from that point of view. It's all about the journey that I'm taking people on, or that somebody that comes on the blog and lands on a posting that goes to a homepage or a hub, they're able to navigate and go down rabbit holes with me where I'm guiding them through it.
I love that. I'm definitely building out experience pages, landing pages, reference pages that you're going to want to bookmark and come back to or revisit, or put in a branded search. Because my favorite thing now is when someone is looking for something or they just happen to discover me. I just came up in their discover, both on social, but also Google. And I answered either their question or I provide inspiration. And then in the future, when they want something, they remember my brand and they type it in so that I can come up intentionally. Those are amazing. And I'm going to challenge everyone today. This is your action item. And the end of our Google Roundup chat is, I want you to go into your Google and look at what pages have the most impressions. Even if you get 0 clicks, it's okay. Organize according to impressions and update in that order. So the page that has the most impressions, just go in that order. If it's still in alignment with your blog and where you want to go, because sometimes it's no longer in alignment, it's not something you want to talk about.
It needs to be archived.
And it needs to be archived, just remove it from the internet. But if it's something you're going to continue talking about, if it's a core part of your brand or a core secondary topic, update those. Just pour your heart and soul into it. And I think you will start to see some results. And come back to co-working and let us know all about it in the chat and the comments section.